This is Slim Reaper Beats.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Perfect.
Welcome back to another edition of the Excuse Me Brother podcast show. I'm your host, Brother Jay, and tonight I have a special edition of the Black Fathers Matter series that we do here at the Excuse Me Brother podcast. If you've been following us for a while, you know that this mini-series was started a little while ago, where I introduce and interview several friends of mine or people that I know, black men who are fathers. And we started this thing to, highlight the necessities and the journeys and to get black fathers to tell their stories. I know plenty of black men who are fathers and deserve to have their story be heard. I started with a friend that I've known since high school in the name of Kmar Johnson. We did a 2-part interview with him. You can check that out on our socials. And then we also did another interview with a coworker of mine. His name is Marcel Bennett. You could also check out that story. Tonight, we have another edition, an older friend of mine that I've known longer than both Marcel and Kmar combined. I've known this man, Ricardo Spence, for approximately 20 years. I met him when I was I wasn't even a teenager yet. I met him at the Frederick Douglass Academy 5 middle school here in the Bronx. And I was part of that first graduating class in the class of 2007, and he was in the class behind us. And ever since I've known him, I've always respected him. I've always thought that he was a man amongst boys, really. He's probably the most disciplined person that I've ever met, as you'll see when I interview him. And you'll hear his story about how he became a father, how he knew he was fit to be a dad, how his overall journey into fatherhood played out for him, and how he interacts with his son, the lesson that he tries to teach to his son, and some of the other things that he feels are necessary for fatherhood. We also go down memory lane a couple times because I played on the high school lacrosse team in my senior year of high school, and he played in his senior year also, and they were actually able to win a championship. We weren't able to, so he's got that leg up on me in my class. But like I said, I've always respected him. I always thought that he was a very, very interesting person. He's a good friend. Like I said, I've known him for almost 20 years, so I've seen him grow from a young, vibrant, aspiring professional athlete to the man that he is now, a dad, a coach, a teacher. He does things in the community. He's a filmmaker. And I hope you guys all enjoy this edition of the podcast. I hope you all enjoy listening to Ricardo tell his story, hear his journey, and I hope that it inspires you. I hope I hope you can find whatever it is that you need to find in this. Maybe you need another man's perspective on fatherhood. Maybe you need another man's perspective on how to deal with raising a young man, not essentially by yourself, but as a single dad, as a man who is trying to figure it out and help his son figure it out along the way, and try to impart on him the lessons that he was taught as well. So yes, I hope you all enjoy this edition of Black Fathers Matter, and I present to you Ricardo Spence. My guest today needs no introduction. All right, I've known this man for more than half of my life. All right, I've really known this man half of my life. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'm glad that he took time out of his busy schedule to come talk to me. He's a writer, an actor, producer, teacher, He's an athlete and a coach, but I think the most important or his favorite title is father.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Ricardo Spence. Ricardo, thank you for coming on to the show and chopping it up with me. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. First of all, bro, thank you for all of the kind words. Man, I want to take a moment to give you your flowers too. I've been watching you since we both were young. We
Yeah.
met in middle school, brother. You know what I mean? We come from that whole CS 57, Frederick Douglass Academy
Hmm.
wave, man. And I watched you do so many other things between wrestling and lacrosse and debate. And you was always the humble, in the back, giving everybody respect so long as they didn't mess with you type. You know what I mean, bro? And I've always admired that, man. So, like, for the people watching this isn't him, putting on a mask and becoming a host. He's always been this type of down to earth brother, bro. So I really appreciate the kind words, man, a lot.
I really appreciate you. A couple corrections. I didn't go to CS57. That was everybody else.
Okay,
I was
okay.
one of the newcomers. I'm sorry. I had to make that correction. I was one of the
PS3?
newcomers. Huh?
It was PS3?
Nah, I went to CS6 over here in West Farm, so I
I
wasn't
see.
I wasn't too far. I wasn't
I
too
see.
far, but I was definitely like one of the newcomers. So whenever, all y'all who was in 57 was all linking up and this that.
Yeah, bro. We was already there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all was already there. So, but yeah,
already there, bro.
one more thing I gotta acknowledge you for. You are probably the most disciplined man I've ever met in my life. I mean
And it
that.
means a lot, bro. Thank you, bro. That means a lot, man. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, man. Thank you, bro. Seriously, that means the world to me.
So we talked about it a little earlier, but what's going on with you in your world these days?
Yeah, man, bro. Things are good. I think fatherhood, as lead this conversation with that being a topic of discussion, has been, bro, just running my life rightfully so, right? That's a lifelong commitment. It's an eternal commitment, beyond life, as a matter of fact, because, hopefully my kids have kids and his kids will have kids. So, I'm focused on building his legacy, bro. I've been super busy between like track and football, and now he's invested into bike life and he's looking for sponsorship there while, juggling his grades and trying to put him in front of as many things as possible, right? Because, man, like exposure leads to expansion, in the words of Fred Taylor from the Pivot podcast. And I truly believe that, man. So just trying to put everything in front of him, that has been so time consuming, bro. And just juggling that between the classroom, some of these new initiatives and trying to remain, active with writing and producing. So I'm trying to take all of the things that falls under like my creative umbrella, you know what I mean, bro? And make sure I don't lose sight of that while working my day job and being a dad.
What what are you teaching these days? Like
Yeah,
what's up?
I teach theater, you know what I mean, bro? So I work at the Earl Monroe New Renaissance Basketball School. It's a
Mm.
school that was just founded in 2021. The school was founded by Earl the Pearl Monroe, Hall of Fame New York Knick, and Black Jesus, right? Like one of the best playground legends to come out of Philly, excuse me. And man, like it's been a dope experience working there for the first 2 years. I was the creative writing teacher, but now, I'm teaching theater and hopefully I'll be transitioning into outside of the classroom, right? Because I think being in the classroom for the last several years has been exhausting, so I'm trying to transition into a different role and hopefully that happens.
Listen, shout out to all my teacher friends because I've been hearing this same thing the past 4 to 5 years have just been rough on y'all, and y'all don't get
Yeah,
enough credit for what y'all been through. The world was going through all of this, and then everybody still had to pivot, and y'all had to deal with it the hardest because now you're going from classroom learning to remote learning, and then back to classroom training. I mean, bro,
hybrid, man. There was a point, there was a hybrid model where some kids was on the computer in class while some of the kids were in, you know what I mean, bro? So it was
and,
it was different, man. It was different, bro. But man, just putting those 10,000 hours in, bro.
shout out to y'all because I know I couldn't do it. I know like, I would have lost my mind. In fact, I know a couple teachers who quit in the
Yeah.
throes of it all, and they was just like, "Yo, I can't do this no more. This is too much, and it's not paying me enough." And I think that's really what was killing them. It was like, "Yo, y'all asking more and more of us, but y'all not giving us more and more either." and asking somebody to make lemonade out of just one lemon, it's impossible. So
Different. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
shout outs to y'all. So let's dive back to your beginnings a little bit, right? Um, you were born and raised in the Bronx, obviously,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I if I recall correctly, you have one sister, Scarlett, your twin sister, correct?
Yeah, I have my twin sister, and I have older twin brothers. My
Oh,
mom had
twin brothers. Okay.
twin, and then my oldest brother, he was born far beyond, me. I think we're about 11 years apart, so my mom had 5 children, but 3 pregnancies. She had 2 sets of twins.
Wow, that's how often is your mother a twin?
My grandmother was.
Okay, okay. I'm about to say because
Yeah, yeah,
usually
man.
that's usually how it goes. Was your dad in the picture?
Yeah, my pops is in the picture, bro. He just had a bit of a language barrier. He's Dominican,
Okay.
so he self-taught himself English. But he was right there, man. He lived in Queens. My mom lived in the Bronx. So I saw him on the weekends when his health allowed him to.
Hmm.
And I've never had, you know what I mean? Thankfully, I've never had any type of issues with having a father figure.
Okay, so now leads me to my next question. Outside of your dad, the relationship with your dad, what other father figures did you have growing up?
I think for me, growing up playing football, bro, and it was such a different generation, right? Like the coaching was a bit harder. Some
Mm,
of the things that I know we shouldn't have went through, right? That are illegal now, we went through then, and we built relationships off of just looking to it as character development when it was way
yeah.
over the top. But I think back to a couple of my first coaches. I remember Coach Kevin Julius at the Webster Police Athletic League, and like just walking from my block on Hughes down to Webster, cutting behind St. Barnabas, and going
Hmm.
there daily for track and football practice, and the faith and belief that he put into my athleticism, which gave me confidence. I would say definitely, um, you know, him being my first football coach. And I think also just some black male teachers that were in my life that I was able to, just spend time with both in and outside of the classroom, bro. So it was an accumulation of my coaches and teachers for sure.
Absolutely. Is there another one that stands out in particular, like any particular football coach, particularly from Lehman High School where we both went to? Because I remember when I was on the lacrosse team, we had to walk past the football
Gym.
office to get to our locker room. And every time I would peek my head in the football office just to say what's up or whatever have you, because they doubled as gym teachers too.
Yeah, facts.
So I would often see a lot of the football guys in there just hanging out, chilling, talking to the coaches. So is there any particular
Yeah.
coach that guided you along the way that you looked at as a father figure?
Yeah, man. I would definitely say uh my first varsity head coach, Deborah Vance, right? So we're not even talking about a male
Oh,
here. You know what I mean? I think Coach Vance at the time was only the second female head coach in the country. You know what I mean, bro? And he was a really dope father figure slash mother figure, right? And I hate to be that person, right? You know those memes that people put on Instagram, Happy Father's Day to my mother. And then when you
mm-hmm,
look at the comments, they're like, yo, it's not Mother's Day. Like
mm-hmm,
it is what
uh-huh,
it is, right? But I would be remiss, man, to not mention her kickstarting my high school career. I never played JV, brother. I came into Lehman my freshman year. I had no desire to try out for JV freshman year. I
uh-huh,
showed up to school every day at 7 a.m. to work out early morning to prepare my body to play, to prepare my body to play 3 years of varsity ball. And from the very first day I met her, I told her my intentions. And bro, the week before we got back to school from Pennsylvania when we was up at training camp, she moved me up to the varsity squad and acknowledged all the work that I put in. And she was always that voice in my ear my sophomore year, just telling me like, Spence, run harder, right? Like you're better than that. Go make plays. Like you're out here for a reason. I was 14 years old, bro. You know what I
uh-huh,
mean? So when I was 14, right, because my birthday is September 28th,
uh-huh,
you take it back to 2009. I didn't turn 15 until September the 28th.
right.
The season starts Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm,
I'll never forget, bro. September 11th, right? Way back when my sophomore year, I was still 14 years old, and she named me the starter, right? So at 14 years old, I was the starting running back on the varsity team, and she put me in that position. And it was a blessing, bro, to play at such a high level, 3 grades up at the age of 14. It was a whirlwind, bro, and it made me a very good baller, man, getting that experience. So she did a lot for me, bro.
I asked for that because I knew that would be the answer. Because when
Yeah,
when I had Kamara on the show, I don't know if you remember Kamar Johnson. He was on a track team, but even then, he was like, "Yo, Coach Vance, yo, she was
real deal, man.
it." You know what I mean? She was it. And I know
Deal.
I know a lot of your teammates probably felt the same way about her. Do you know if she's still coaching?
She retired, man. She retired in 2010.
You're right.
Yeah, she
You
retired in
I
2010.
remember this. Yes.
Damn, it's going on 15 years ago next year, man. It's life, bro. It's
Yo,
moving.
move it.
It's
Move it.
moving.
I'm thinking being 24, right? 13 years. I've already been out of high school 13 years, and I'm just like, yo, I remember walking into Lehman High School like it was yesterday. So it's just like, dang. Oh man.
Literally, bro. Literally, bro.
So so obviously, and we talked about this before the show started. You became a father at an early time in your life while
Yeah.
you were in high school playing football for the Lehman Lions. My first question is, when you got that news that you were having a baby, how did you feel? Like, were you scared? Were you excited? Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I always love answering this question because I feel like I reveal a new feeling that I felt in the moment when I think about it in retrospect. Like, those type of moments in life, bro, where you reassess what you've previously told somebody that you felt because now your emotional intelligence and capacity is higher. That's like me every time I answer this question. You know what I mean? And that's like one of the beauties in life and growing older and growing wiser. When I
Mm,
look back on it now, typically I would tell people, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. It kind of just like shocked me, right? But when I think about it right now, and my 30th birthday is upon me, right? I'm thinking about when I was 15, brother, and I'm thinking about it now. Coming upon 30, I think the best way to describe it for me was just like I was stuck, right? Like I was like really like in a state of not even confusion. I was stuck, like I was frozen, right? I
mm,
was just like in this screenshot of like generational trauma and, decision making and, you know, being so
mm,
precocious as a child growing up to then having to ironically become an adult while not growing up fully. Man, I just, when I think on it now, brother, I think the best way to describe it was I was just frozen, man. I was, I was just like standing in place and navigating through that whole thing with absolutely no thoughts, just like actions, man. And I can't even recall it. Like it's all a blur to me.
So, so okay, you're feeling frozen. Was it because, look, first of all, okay, did you feel like you made a mistake at that point? Because remember, we're young, we're in
We're
high
young.
school,
We're young. We're
and
gonna.
how hard was it to fight that feeling of, damn, I just became a statistic, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it happens
Bro.
around us so much that we're just like, damn, I tried my best to avoid this. Now I'm in it. Did you
And
have that feeling at all?
oh yeah, man. I think definitely after my son was born, for the most part too. Like, bro, you know where I'm from, man. I'm from Hughes Avenue, from a little town we call 80 Side, and
Like,
I think for me, right, like my first job on the books was McDonald's. At the time, it was like 7.25 an hour. I was able to work there and do a 3 or 4 hour shift after school,
eh,
2 or 3 times a week, and I felt like man, like I could put it in the script, like the embarrassment of feeling like a statistic, and
oh,
also just not, being myself, like being a shell of myself, right? Like bro, I'm talking like I was behind the grill and like my classmates or like a cute girl, bro, or like my teammates would come in here and it's like, hey, that's the 16-year-old father who's on the team that also works at McDonald's flipping burgers. But there was
oh,
some times in those moments I was dealing with like mental health issues and depression
oh,
and telling myself like, my athletic career is over. Let me get ready to flip these burgers for the rest of my life to build a better life for him. right? So it's like, man, like it was, bro, it was so challenging, right? But I had to make a decision. Like it can either fuel me, right, or it could either bring me down. And I quit. Like I quit that. Excuse my language, bro. I don't want to curse. I was gonna say the F word, but man, I quit. I quit that job, bro, and I don't even, bro. Again, it's all a blur, right? Like I think I would ask my moms for money here and there, or I would work out with my friends and charge them to work out with me here or there. But I quit flipping burgers, bro. And like in like
What?
2 to 3 weeks, bro, I quit flipping burgers, bro. And I was like, man, hell no. Cause if I dedicate myself to this now or for the strength of being a father, I'm gonna use fatherhood as my excuse for doing this for the rest of my life. You know what I mean, bro? So I made a decision and I never looked back, bro. I never ever looked back.
So that moment where you decided, you know what, I can't, I can't see myself in this type of life trying to use, you know, flipping burgers as a way to keep myself afloat and keep and provide a life for my son. You say you started to pivot, basically, right? You started
Yeah.
to try your friends to work out, started to ask your friends for money. At what point did you say, okay, I'm no longer frozen. Now I'm moving, I'm making traction. Now I have an idea of where I want to go and what I
Yeah.
want to do with this.
Yeah. I would say my junior year, bro, like I put all into my junior season, bro. It was like my best season of high school. Um, UConn recruited me, Maryland recruited me, Fordham recruited me, Marist recruited me. I got invited to all of those camps. Bryant recruited me, and I still kept those letters till this day. Right, like it's in the closet right now. Those
Mm,
schools were reaching out to me, writing me personal notes, invited me to their youth camps, and I put a lot of power and energy and effort and dedicated that season to fatherhood, bro. And when I saw that it paid off, and I was able to have the support system of my mother, right, and the mother of my child, her beautiful mother,
mm.
and a family support around us, and making sure he had food, shelter, and the necessities he needed, so I can continue this chase. I found my groove in that, bro, and learned how to grow within that, and I tried to take that and run with it, bro.
You wanted to play professional football, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that
That
was
was
my biggest dream in my life, bro. My biggest dream in my life was to play a snap in the NFL. But we still gonna make it there, whether it's, managing some of the guys or training some of the guys I'm training now. And I guarantee it, bro. Like, and prayerfully this doesn't come off arrogant. I guarantee I'm gonna be sitting in the box seats one day, and whether it's through me or one of these kids, I'm putting my IQ and my energy and my effort into that love the game as much as I did giving me those complimentary seats in the box. I'm gonna definitely touch the NFL one day, bro. I believe with all my heart.
Hey, listen, I believe it. I believe it. If that's where, the Most High takes your steps, then all praise. Let's let it be so. You know what I mean? I believe in it. I believe in the vision just as much as you believe in it. And if you know this better than anybody. You put in that work, you discipline yourself, and you keep the faith, right? And I know you're strong on faith, and you keep that
That's
faith, and
my
you
favorite word, bro. Yeah, that's my favorite word.
I
My
know,
favorite.
right? So you keep that faith, you keep it going, right? So
Yeah.
tell me about um tell me about the pregnancy. We always hear the pregnancy from the mother's perspective. What was
hmm
it like for you?
Yeah, man. I know for me, bro, it was very, man. It was such a like coming of like new life for myself as well too, right? Like I feel like um a lot of times people don't talk about this, right? And I get it. Like I don't feel the contractions. I'm not in labor, right? I don't put the epidural in my back. I don't experience those things, and I will never pretend to act as though I have the divine, just calling and femininity and power that a woman has. Under no circumstance would I ever pretend to understand that. But I will say this, like we do feel, you know what I mean, the same emotional connection that a mother feels in her womb when that child is growing, when you are fully embedded into wanting to be a father and committing yourself to being in this child's life at the very early stages, right? Not just when the child is born and you're at the hospital and you sign the birth certificate and it's like, hey, this is happening. from the moment you realize, like, okay, I'm gonna have to step up and be a father. I have 9 months to mentally prepare for reality. This is my new reality. This is not a temporary thing. This child
Right.
isn't gonna go anywhere. Right? I think for me, bro, that's what it was for me. I think I was so emotionally connected to it. I think I felt extremely joyous throughout the process. Bro, there are so many things that I remember vividly. Whether it was seeing his first sonogram pictures, whether it was going to an appointment at the school. Now, mind you, we were 15, man.
Right.
I mean, we were 15 years old, taking that C train to Columbia Presbyterian and,
Mm.
and, and listening to his heartbeat, and it's the sound of like a stallion, you know what I mean? Just hitting the dirt, and it's strong and it's healthy. It was a different time in my life, bro. And man, it was an experience, bro. But I felt extremely emotionally connected. And I felt like I was swimming in that water in the room right there with him, right there
Mm.
with him, bro. I just didn't and never will, or any man for that matter, will ever feel the physical and spiritual, right, impact that comes along with that process because, we aren't blessed to give birth, right? So outside of that, bro, the emotional component of it all, at least for me, I'm one of those fathers, bro. I felt it 100%.
Good. That's beautiful. I've never heard somebody describe it that way, and it's a beautiful thing because, there's a lot of times where men, especially busy men, they miss out on certain moments during the pregnancy where, like, oh, baby kick, you know what I mean? And he's just not there to witness it. Or he's just like not, he's kind of detached. So to see, a father who's actually involved and wants to be part of that process, who's actually engaging. I bet you talked to him through the womb, didn't you?
Yeah, man. It was, bro. It was really sweet times, man. Seriously, bro. And the mother of my child is a very intelligent woman, bro. And she was blessed enough to allow me to experience those moments. It wasn't something I can experience full time, right? We were being monitored because we were 15, so obviously, and rightfully so, there was some parental supervision there, right? Again, we were minors, and
Yeah.
I think for me, um, the point that you brought up about, just like witnessing like yo process, right? like
Right.
like
Mhm.
being someone that's embedded into it, bro. Like I was super blessed for that, and I'm thankful for that, bro. My busy phase came in the earlier years of his life. I would say between ages of like 1 and 5, 1 and 6, when I was still chasing like my NFL dreams and went away for school or spent a lot of time working out. Those were some trying times, bro. And once I got through that and I made a commitment to chasing such other aspirations in life as teaching and filmmaking, we grew a closer bond and I was around a lot more.
So talk to me about that time because the last time I saw you, believe it or not, the last time I saw you like in the flesh was when y'all won that lacrosse championship out in Brooklyn.
Man, damn
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, remember
Listen,
that.
bro, the anniversary, was crazy. We won that May 22nd, 2012.
Right.
2 days
Oh,
from
wow.
now, the two
Coming
days
up.
days from now is the anniversary, bro. And man, I remember that like it was yesterday, bro. I think I gave one of the best halftime speeches of my life in that locker room that day, bro. We was not going home without that, brother. Like we
And
saw
we
what you guys did for years, and bro, we did not care what we was willing to die out there that day,
and
bro. It
we
was it was
saw
a movie. It was a
we
movie.
trust me, we saw y'all because we was in the stands. We were just like, yo, they got this. Because y'all were playing such clamp down defense,
They
they
scored
could not
3 points.
score.
They scored 3 points, bro. I remember we was knocking kids out.
Yeah.
Taking
I
penalties, man. We was knocking, bro.
was some dogs.
Yo, bro, I'm telling you, bro, it was real deal. There was plays where we were committed to taking the penalty. Like, yo,
Uh-huh.
I'm running through him. I'm knocking his equipment off. Just
Yes.
so they know this is not sweet. Like bro, we did not care, brother. Like we was, man, bro. And we had one of the best players in the city at the time, my boy Jovan Rivera. And
Oh
we
yeah.
knew, all
Oh
we
yeah.
knew, bro, was if we can get him going, and if we can just hold the team to three, and people thought it was crazy, 3 points. How you gonna hold a team to 3 points? And listen,
Yeah.
bro, we was just knocking guys out the box, taking penalties, bro. We We was definitely the '90s Pistons that whole season. That whole
Bad boy Pistons, son. Yo,
yeah, the
I
Bad Boy Lions, bro. We was different, man. We was tripping.
I listen, it's funny you mentioned Jovan. I don't know if he's ever gonna listen to this, but Jovan, the year before, right? When we played our last year playing, they had put him at X and told him, yo, you run the offense from now on. And that year he set the school record for assists
Mm-hmm.
in that season, and he just took off. That
Kid
next
was
year,
great. He was
he just took off. I knew he
amazing.
was something special.
He was amazing. He was amazing, bro. Man, Jovan, shout out to you, bro. If you ever watching this, I just want to apologize, man, because yo, listen, I chewed him up at halftime, bro. And we got guys in the locker room, hopefully, that watches this that can attest to this. Bro, I'll never forget. Remember, we went in, it was a tie game. It was 1-1. You know what I mean? And I remember in halftime, I took my helmet off, bro. I threw my helmet on the floor, and I just got in his face. And I just rallied all the guys, bro. And I'm not sure if I could curse on here, bro, but I just rallied the guys. And I remember looking Jovan dead in his face, and I was like, yo, wake the fuck up and play like you're the best player in the city, because you ain't playing like shit right now. And I ain't come this far to lose, and I ain't going to let you lose. So we're going to keep giving you the ball, but go fucking score with, or we're going to fuck you up. This is on you. We hold it. Yo, bro, I was like, we've held them to 1 point. 1 point, man. I remember just go do your job. Because you ain't leaving this field if we don't win. Go do your job, man. We love you. Go do your job. And, man, when he came out, you saw he scored. As soon as he scored in that second half, I looked at him, and I was like,
Sit.
here we go. We right here. We right here, man. You got to be willing to fight. Same thing with fatherhood. You got to be willing to grab your son by the collar and let him know, listen, hey, we can go that route. You know what I mean? We can go that route, like unsuccess, joining a gang, any type of violence, disrespect towards women, choosing a path that I did not raise you to choose. We can go another route, because the standard is the standard. Like, you know what I mean? And you're going to be held to that expectation until the day I fucking die. So I was the same way on the field, bro.
Absolutely. And this is okay. So I got a story, right? I got a story for you.
Yeah.
We got to sidetrack a little bit, but I got a story, because this is the Ricardo I know, right?
Yeah, bro. I'll be getting hype.
This is the Ricardo I know. When I don't remember if we were halfway into the season or if we were just like still in training camp, right? And the year that I played, me and like maybe 4 other guys went into the weight room down in the basement, right? So that way we can get our weight in, because we had been doing nothing but cardio, trying to keep in shape. And Coach Straw was like, yo, you guys gotta do, some weightlifting, put some muscle on y'all. So we're like, all right, cool. Some of us had a free period, others had wait till after school or whatever have you, right? Other guys did what they did. We went to the weight room. It was like, I don't remember who was with me, but it was like 4 or 5 of us. You were in there
every day.
The football team, right? Y'all were in there and you was running the whole goddamn show. And I was like, come. We going with him, all right? We gonna follow his lead, okay? Listen, these guys doing what they need to do. He's getting these guys in shape. He's getting them guys in order, showing them how to maneuver with the machines, how to actually properly lift. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, we following him, because I remember you since middle school, so it was like I know what he's about. He's gonna steer us the right way.
Yeah, man, appreciate it, bro. I've always wanted to be on the front lines, bro. Like when it's time for war, like I want to be a general, bro. I've always wanted that. Like I want the ball in the fourth quarter. I want all the pressure. I want the last second shot. I want the heaviest weight. Like, bro, I'm still very much like that till this day. But it's just with other aspirations, so there's a bit more softness to it. But I wanted that, bro. And in a position of leadership, like if you don't hold somebody to an expectation or a standard, they're gonna reset the standard. So for me, it's like, like same thing with fatherhood, right? Like if you allow your son to have a moment where he's extremely disrespectful, and one moment you laugh it off and the next moment you try to discipline him, you're sending that mixed signal to that child, and he's gonna now then miscommunicate his understanding of this, right? So for me, any moment that I slacked off in the weight room being a captain, or any moment that the standard wasn't the standard, the guys would look to me like, yo, the general was laxed, or like
Mm-hmm.
general, like, was different today. Like I wasn't allowed that luxury because I wanted to be a leader amongst men. So it was a lifestyle I committed myself to, bro.
And it worked. It worked. It paid off. You
Yeah.
know. So
We
let's
met.
back up a little bit. When after high school, right? Well, no, backtrack a little bit. Your son was born what year of high school for you?
Junior year, 2010.
Junior year 2010. So you've gone through, and remember, junior year is probably the most important school year for a high schooler, as they
It,
always said to us.
yeah, that's college applications, bro. Football scouts. It was junior year was stressful. Man,
I can imagine. Talk me
it was
through it.
stressful, bro, because my child was born in October. Bro, you're
Mm-hmm.
talking 1 month in the school.
Oh, yep.
Literally. School starts. If you're from New York, school starts Labor Day weekend. Like you go back to school September 6th. My son was born October 18th, right? 6 weeks later, if that. So first 6 weeks of school, I'm not a father. From that point on, I'm a father the rest of my academic life. So I had gotten a job at McDonald's, and then after that, I worked different, like, these like some odd jobs here or there, right? And just juggling that with getting to school every morning, 6:45, 7 a.m. so I could lift before class, go to class, go to practice. I would skip lunch to go watch film before
Mm-hmm.
practice. And then after practice, I would do additional work in the weight room or on the field. And then I would go to work part time, take the bus home, do it again the next day. Right. So I did that, bro, for 4 years, man. 4 years, bro. And then on the back end of my junior and senior year, I did that year round because I had been picked up on lacrosse immediately after my senior football season because I wanted a championship. I wanted to leave high school a champion. And that was a
Yes.
sport where, shout outs to you guys. The year before that, you guys' team was so much better than us, bro. So much better than us. Like, y'all would have, oh my God, bro. Y'all would have swept the floor with us. The one thing that you guys didn't have was you didn't have somebody who didn't give a fuck. And I say that because that person was Fred, but
Yeah.
Fred is my brother. I would do
Yeah.
anything for Fred.
Yes.
Fred didn't have the athletic or offensive ability to contribute both ways. So he
Right.
was the I don't give a fuck person where it's like, who's your best player? I'm knocking him out the game, but that
Mm-hmm.
was it.
Uh-huh.
Whereas myself, Kavon,
Mm-hmm.
David, a couple of
Uh-huh.
football players, we learned how to get them shits off, man. We learned how to score too. So there was some games, bro, where Jovan absolutely, and we had another sophomore at the time. His name was Michael. They held us up, but bro, make no mistakes. I remember one time I had a hat trick against St. Ray's, bro. And that was my first year. I swear to God, that was my first year playing lacrosse, bro. And I had a hat trick against them boys. And I also put somebody out within that same game. I knocked some kid out right out of the game. You know what I mean? So we just had like we had about one or two more two-way players. You know what I mean, bro? And that was the only reason why we got over the hump. And I think you guys played a bit stiffer level of competition. We got lucky playing that Madison team in the finals because I think the year before that, that Stuyvesant team that you guys played was much better, bro. So
Well,
sometimes the eggs just fall very weirdly.
we actually lost to
I see, right?
City College High School.
Mm,
That's what we lost to in the first round. And the only reason why we lost
this
is
round is
because
crazy.
yo,
Wait, wasn't y'all like 11-1, bro? Like
we were 12
12-1?
and 2, bro. We were 12 and 2.
This round is crazy, bro.
First round, dude.
What was the halftime? I gotta know, what was the halftime speech, man? Yo, bro. I
So if I'm not
totally forgot, man. What was that conversation like at halftime and after the game, bro? Y'all was like top in the city.
so if I recall correctly, we weren't down by much at halftime. I think
Well, no, bro. I
we were
remember.
down by 2 because the final score was like 11-7. So we didn't lose by much.
Yeah.
So halftime, we was just like, yo, we were right there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Omar that gave the conversation, the halftime speech. It was like, yo, we are right there.
Sure.
And what Omar did was he said, you know what? I'm face guarding their best player, this tall white kid from their school. I forgot where he was from, but he's like, no, I'm face guarding him the rest of the game. I'm not letting him leave my sight. But we just couldn't get over the hump. And I know that you could probably probably understand this better than I can. You know how in football they always say it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a single year?
Oh man, that's bro,
It's damn near impossible, right?
impossible. Yeah, bro, it's just like
That's what it was with us. We had beaten Hunter College High School twice in the regular season. We wiped the floor with them both times actually, but that third time they were just like, nah, we not having it. They came out
yeah,
strong. And
yeah,
another thing was we were supposed to host that playoff game at the old field by Bronx
very
State.
point, very Point Park.
No, it was
Oh, by the hospital.
yes, we used
Yes,
to play there. But it rained the day of the playoff game. So we couldn't use the field because it was a dirt field. So we
yes.
had to relocate to Randall's Island like a day or two later. And that was basically a home game for them because they played on Randall's Island. They didn't have their own
That
field.
matters. That
It,
matters
bro, it mattered so much because
so much,
that
bro.
evening crowd, we had such a lot of support that year because they know, yo, we were this close to winning. We were very close.
Very close, bro.
And,
Very close.
and the fact that we couldn't get over the hump, so after the game, a lot of us were seniors, so we were just like,
That's it.
that's
That's
it.
it.
Like Chris was crying.
Yo, them
Remember,
tears. Yo, listen, bro. People don't understand.
yeah,
Like
bro.
senior year tears. Them shits hit, bro.
They
Like
hit hard, bro.
when you look up and you're like, I ain't never gonna be in high school again.
And never get this
And
opportunity.
bro, that yo
It hurt, and it
hurt,
it hurt bad. I didn't even want to
hurt,
do nothing the rest of the school year, son.
hurt, bro.
It,
It
it
hurt.
was it was a lot of hurt. So that's why when you guys won, we were right there. We was just like, yo, they have an opportunity to do something that we
It
couldn't.
felt like y'all was on the field with us, bro. Felt like
Dude,
y'all was. I promise. It felt like y'all was on the field with us, bro. Like the support that season was crazy, man. When
bro,
you guys stormed the field afterwards, it was crazy.
bro, oh,
And it
yo,
was different, bro. Y'all was right there with us, bro. I remember every shot we took in OT when it became sudden death. You can hear the
hmm
whole crowd just gasp.
hmm
It was different, man. It was
it was
hey,
special. It was
bro.
special.
What a
Right.
time. What a
Special.
time.
And
What
I
a
don't
time.
remember I don't know if you remember this conversation that you and I had after one of the games at the school. Because remember, y'all got to play on the field the first year. You know what I'm saying? When they
Oh
redid the
my
field, y'all
God.
finally,
Playing on our own field was I
yo,
remember
y'all
we
had
had a
the
we had a
advantage.
Friday night game at 7 p.m. against LIC.
That's okay. So I
It was
think
like
you
our
guys
dreams
lost
came
that game.
true playing at home, man.
Did you guys lose that game?
We did. That was
So
a game
okay,
I broke my collarbone in that game, man.
so okay, so yes, you and I had this conversation after that game, right?
I broke my collarbone that game, man.
And you and I
Yeah.
were walking down Tremont, and I don't know if you remember this, but you were so beat up that you lost the game and that you broke your collarbone. I was like, yo, bro, all y'all gotta do is get in, and that's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
And
You know what I'm
that yeah,
saying?
that shit was so helpful, bro, because we struggled. We went about like 3-3 after that. But
Yeah.
oh, I'm telling you, bro, like we got it in. And you know what, bro? Like, remember that. I remember that exactly because we was walking back to the 40 bus to push it back to West Arms.
Mm-hmm.
Facts, man. Facts, bro. And yo, bro, that was the time of my life. I think that one year of lacrosse was happier than all my years of football, bro. That was
Bro,
special, bro. That
it
was
was
special, bro.
it was definitely special. It was special watching y'all play. It was special watching y'all win and get to leave on high school on a high note like that.
It was
Like
amazing.
you feel like you was on top of the world. You got your son now, and now you going on to college, and that's when okay. So let's roll it back into the conversation, right? So
Yeah.
where did you go to school? Ultimately, decide to go to school at?
So my school journey is a little crazy. It's a little crazy, man. But I'll put it like this, right? I'm not even gonna waste time talking too much about like my academic journey and the different institutions I went to. I'll talk
Mhm.
about the schools that I claim, right? So like I spent the year at SUNY Maritime College where I played Division III football. Um, and then I spent 3 years in Morgan State University out in Baltimore, and I left early due to personal reason. And then I had like a semester or two left. But what I decided to do was finish up two separate degrees at Monroe College. So I came back home and finished
Mm.
up two business degrees there once all of my credits and things transferred over, bro. So my journey was a little different. I went to SUNY Maritime, Morgan State, and Monroe College.
Well, I remember you going to Morgan State because Lexus went to Morgan State. Shout out to
Yeah,
Lexus.
yeah. She's one of the most brilliant women I've ever met in my life.
Bro, she's
Different.
brilliant. Like, I don't know, like she's doing her thing. I gotta get on the show one day because she's
Never
doing
not done what she was supposed to do. Like it's
it.
brilliant
Listen,
woman, bro. Brilliant. One of the
she,
most beautiful women I've ever met in my life.
she's fantastic. And I remember I used to have music class with her, and she was fantastic back then. I was like, yo, who is this girl? So I'm like, and now that she like I see her all the time, like she's in the military, she's doing her studies, she's doing her therapy thing.
Yeah, man, she's different.
I
She's
believe she's a
different.
therapist now, right?
That again,
I believe she's a therapist now. I think she's doing therapy and stuff.
Lexus does so much, brother.
Like it's hard to keep
I
up with
don't
her.
know, man. Yo, she does so much. I know she's so many different things, bro. I think
Yo,
she's a doctor now. Like you know what I mean? Like she's
yeah.
Dr. Crenshaw now. Like
She's doing the damn thing.
different, man.
Shout out
She's
to you, Lex.
shouts to her. Seriously,
I gotta
seriously,
get on the show eventually. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna find some
absolutely,
time to do it because I know she's a
absolutely.
busy. But so you finish up in Monroe. How are you handling your fatherly duties at this point?
That point, bro, I was working an after school job, tutoring after school. And then I worked DOE like as a school aide part time because I didn't need a degree to do that. I
Yeah,
made
yeah.
that like my little strategic, day to day where I worked as a school aide 8 to 2, after school 2 to 6, and I would use that money to suffice while between 6 and 8 working out towards my NFL dreams daily, bro. Then just having him on the weekends.
Well, okay, so you had him on week. Okay, you and his mother weren't living together at the time. You guys weren't dating. You guys weren't in a
Oh no,
relationship.
yeah, we were just two young parents, man. Yeah.
Okay, and what? So okay, because when I did this episode with Kmar, obviously Kmar's married. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he has a different dynamic with the mother of his child. What is that dynamic like for you? What was it like for you?
Me, the beginning stages of it all, I think I can't speak for her because she's not present. At the beginning
Right.
stages of it all, um, I didn't have like the emotional intelligence to navigate co-parenting,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, between 16 and 21. So I think I struggled early on with my understanding of my situation, my communication, and
yeah.
learning how to be a father. On the back end, though, it has grown to be extremely healthy, and I'm grateful for that, bro. And it's still a learning process. That curve is always going to be there, but
Yeah.
I think I navigated it pretty well. 25 plus after my son turned 10, and I was able to, you know, kind of like understand my emotions and being a father a bit better.
Because at this point you're still growing into a man. It's not like I came equipped with all of this. It's just I'm still learning as I go,
Yeah,
right?
bro, 100%.
And how difficult is that? Is it the hardest thing you've ever done, or is it like somewhere near the top?
Is absolutely the hardest thing I've ever done, bro. No question, because everything that's at the top is predicated around fatherhood.
Mhm. And
100%. Whether it's finishing my college degrees to have a job with a salary that suffices the lifestyle I want to provide for him, bro. Whether it was mental health struggles, dealing with the failures of life while juggling fatherhood and knowing I can't afford to bask in these struggles because I have to get up and be a father.
Mhm.
It's all predicated around that. Like fatherhood is my precedent, bro. So it all boils down to that.
And even as you're growing into your manhood, she's also growing into her womanhood, her
Mhm.
motherhood. She has aspirations and dreams also.
Yeah.
So that co-parenting relationship had to be curated a certain way. That way, both of you can still be who you're meant to be and still be good enough parents for your son. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. And I think the biggest, the key factor into us both being able to grow in that aspect was family and support, bro. Like, both have really good families who support us, and without that, we wouldn't be here, bro.
But I think it's important to understand that it takes a village, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It takes
it takes a village. Takes a village, bro. Like, it takes a lot.
yeah, and I with my own sisters, because I don't have any kids, so my sister's children are essentially my children too, because one, I'm their
Yeah,
godfather, and two, it's just like that's my flesh and blood too, but it don't make no
yeah,
difference.
absolutely,
And I
absolutely.
and I see the necessity of, you know, community and help, and the fact that you had that, giving y'all situation, and nobody's like, you know what, y'all on your own, y'all gonna have to be adults, y'all gonna have to learn how to get this together. And they said, no, we're all gonna be in this together. We're gonna support y'all through this process.
100%,
I have a child now that needs to be in a healthy environment.
100%.
So after college, right? Once you finish your college career, you got your degrees. What next? What happens there? And how does your son fit into the picture? You decide to move back to New York and start from there?
Yeah, yeah. I decided to move back to New York. I decided to let go of my NFL aspiration, and I gave my life to filmmaking full time as opposed to part time, because there's no age limit on that. But in 2020, 2020, what am I talking about? In 2018, I had I told myself, like, with the NFL and playing in it is never gonna happen for me, and I completely let it go, and I've never put on like a cleat or shoulder pads like since, like, with the hopes of doing that. I accepted that, bro, and moved on.
How hard was that?
First, it was hard, but I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Filmmaking gives me the same feeling, and that's why, like, it's so important that we as fathers, just tell our young men, like, hey, you can't become something. Like, you have to be who you are. Like, you
Mhm.
don't become something, you become someone, right?
Right.
And someone can do anything, right? Something may be specific or predicated to what that is.
Mm,
So you are not football, right? Like, you are a human who is passionate and skilled at football. So
mhm.
I had to, like, bask in my love of filmmaking to better understand that, and it got so much better after doing that, bro.
That's powerful. Wow. I you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I had to learn that, bro. I had to
Oh,
learn.
you just said a whole lot right there, because it's so easy to get caught up in becoming something as opposed to realizing that you're someone who's good at something or
Yeah.
passionate about something.
That's not you, right? Like, your
Right.
calling in life isn't one thing. I'm
Right.
always That's just me, right? Like, I'm a believer in that. Like, I know me, right? Like, my calling in life was not one thing, bro. It absolutely wasn't one thing, because if that was the case, why is our life expectancy so long? Right?
Right.
Like, some would say it's short, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, there's no way my life, and we're black men, our life expectancy is a little lower than our counterparts. So, like, there's no way my life between 0 and goddamn 77, right, is
Mm.
is one thing. That's impossible. That's impossible. Like,
And-
bro, we're so young. We're so young, bro, right? I was telling my mom, like, hey, my 30th birthday is coming up. 0 through 30 was amazing. 30 through 60, I'm ready to live 10 more different lives, right? Like, I've
mm,
I've learned to look at life from that perspective, bro. And it makes everything so much better.
and it's interesting because when you look at professional athletes, they retire at such an early age, like 35, 40. You still got
Yeah.
a whole lot of life to live after that.
Bro, man, you're living life, brother. 35 to 55, those 20 years, 35, 20 years ago, 15.
Yeah.
That's how quick life is. I tell my kids when we're sitting down and talking in class, I teach juniors primarily,
Mhm.
16, 17 years old. I always tell them 5 years ago, you was 11 and 12.
Mhm.
5 years from now, you're going to be 21, 22. Do you know the difference in that timeline? 12 and 21, and you're right here. The difference is crazy.
It's super crazy.
It's crazy, and that's what like I had to realize about life, man. Is you have to be
Yeah.
somebody that puts life into perspective before you do things, bro. Like
Mhm.
you can't just do shit. And people thought my whole life, well, that's such a serious mindset. How do you have fun? Like it's not about having fun for me, bro. It's about me living life to the fullest. And sometimes that does not require fun. It
Absolutely.
requires like a crazy amount of focus and understanding of the things you can and can't do at the moment. So for me, bro, that's just how I live with everything, bro. That's how I live with everything.
You see why I say you're the most disciplined man I've ever met? Because that
Nah, man,
type of
nah, bro.
laser focus. Listen, like
I
everything you're
appreciate it,
saying
bro.
is it, no, because I feel the same way a lot of times. Like okay, I have to sacrifice now
Good.
or later. I can't do this right now. Everybody be wanting to, live their best life right now. And it's just like sometimes that doesn't suffice. It's not conducive to a healthy lifestyle going forward. You want to do
Yeah,
all of this as you speak. You can't do that all the time.
yeah, man.
And I'm
Listen, bro. Yeah, yeah, and I got a saying that I constantly tell my son, right? Like the back end will always be more important than the front end.
absolutely
Tell him that all all the time, right? Like you're not eating the apples out of your apple tree the moment you plant the seed. Like that's just never going to happen.
Mhm.
Right? Like, but we're in this generation right now. Damn, I know we sound like the old heads, but we're in this generation right now where like it's not enjoying fruits of your labor. It's just enjoying fruits because you want fruits, and like
Right.
that's bullshit to me. That's like complete bullshit to me, bro. Like you got to enjoy the fruits of your labor, like your
Absolutely.
labor, and I'm always gonna be a big believer in that, bro.
1000%. I'm right there with you because, like you said, that is I call it the microwave generation. They just want it right now, instant, quick.
Yeah,
And
I love the way you broke that down, bro. It's beautiful.
you want it right
Want it
now.
right now, and life don't work like that, man.
It
It it,
it
it
don't
and it
it,
never will, and it absolutely never will. It would
it
never
never
work.
has. It never has either. You look at all the generations before us. It took time to do these things. We look at some of our favorite athletes today, right? Some of them played when we were kids, but now they live in life a completely different life, and they're more successful in their post career than they were when they were playing.
Yeah,
They get, and it's I don't know if it's just a matter of the timing that we're in, or if it's them seeing the bigger vision. A lot of them do have the bigger vision, but sometimes it's also like they understood that okay, these things took time and these things don't happen in a vacuum.
yeah. They don't just happen. They don't just happen, man. And bro, that's why where the men that we are today, like we come from that generation where like we just cut from different cloth, man. And I
That-
try to instill all those same principles in my little man.
so what other what are the core principles that you do teach your son?
Yeah, man. So for me, it's pretty simple, right? Like one, identifying who you are. I think that is something that I've been preaching on to him from a super young age, right? I know me, I believe in three type of people in the world:
Mm,
innovators, laborers, and caterers, right? Like the innovators create the jobs that go around the world. The
mhm,
laborers work those jobs and they're happy doing it because they're
mhm,
blue collared people. And the caterers are the people who don't necessarily care to do any of those things, but they just love to love onto people. And some of us are a mixture of two of those things. Some of us are a mixture of all three of those things. Some of us are just solely one of those things. So I broke that down to him at a super young age to one, identify what type of person he is in this world. So I think one is just understanding who you are or seeking to learn who you are, and doing that through organic experience and patience.
mhm,
Two, right on time, right? Patience, right? Like denial is is going to happen. Rejection is going to happen, but you have to have unwavering faith in all it is that you do. And you have to be willing to go the distance no matter how long it takes, right? So patience, work ethic, discipline. And I think for me, right, like I'm big on like you got to finish what you start.
Mm,
I think one of the easiest things to do in this world is to quit. I think once you get into that consistent habit of stopping or quitting something the moment you're met with resistance is extremely dangerous to allow a young man to consistently do. Extremely dangerous, right?
mhm,
Like if you joined the basketball team and I paid for the AAU circuit and you are 5 games in and decide you don't want to do this, you are finishing that season, period.
mhm.
Because now that becomes the class project you didn't want to finish. Now that becomes the bike you didn't finish repairing. Now that becomes the laundry that you forgot to do the morning you had an interview. Like, you know what I mean, bro? Like this trickle effect that they learn from their fathers, like, you know, from the male figures in their life. I'm very cognizant of those things, bro, all of the time.
No, it's important. I'm glad that you say these things, especially that last part where you said that, it comes from the fathers, because one of the things that I've always believed and one of the things I've always been taught, dad established structure and order and discipline in the house, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that kind of brings me into the reason why I do this little series within our catalog of Black Fathers Matter, because the way that I've experienced in this society, especially now in this age, from like 2000 on, you know what I'm saying? It has become almost like commonplace to devalue dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To devalue the fathers in the house, especially us as Black men, where
Mhm.
it's okay to be like, okay, dad's not in the pictures. Okay, fine, we'll be fine. When statistics and numbers show you that children that are raised in two-parent households and with fathers in the house are they're better off, and
Mhm.
that see that these kids who are doing burning the world down, right? These kids who, part of my language, who are going into schools and shooting up schools and acting out in public and going crazy off the rails. Where do they come from? They come from fatherless homes. Not
Yeah.
all of them, but a good number of them, enough of them to say, okay, look, you see what happens when you devalue dad? You see what happens when you don't have your father present in the house? When y'all start to disrespect the man of the house, you see what happens? We get little gremlins who grow up to be men who don't respect women, who abuse women, who destroy society, who and they just give the rest of us a bad name. What do you say to
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, man, I agree. Again, bro, we're cut from the same cloth. We come from the same era. I'm not somebody of, like Gen Z, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna come politically correct here. I'm
Mm,
of the same cloth, brother. I'm of the same cloth, right? Like whether it's co-parenting or whether it's a two-parent household, the father is supposed to be there to instill those values. And let's go on record saying like that is not to say that a woman or a mother cannot do those things. You and I both are 100,000 million%
I
absolutely positive that women are capable of all things. And
absolutely.
we're not saying that, right? So let's put that out there now. But I
Absolutely.
agree with you, and I'm right here with you in saying that I do believe it is my responsibility to provide them with discipline and structure wholeheartedly.
Yeah, because you see that they'll never devalue mom, nor should we. We should
Yeah,
never devalue
never,
our mom, right?
never
This whole thing that dad is not necessary to live for a child
dangerous.
to properly is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Absolutely, it's 1,000% danger, and it infuriates me, as you can see. It's like, it almost kind of makes me not apprehensive, but also be like, yo, if I were to become a dad, would would the mother of my child feel that I'm not necessary in the picture for this child to grow? And I'm
Mhm.
gonna be set to be like, no, the fuck, I'm not. Absolutely, I'm gonna be here.
Exactly. Whether
Are
we
you kidding
together
me?
or not, this is not one of those. Yep.
Right. No, absolutely
100,
not.
100%, brother. 100%, brother.
And
Absolutely.
so, oh, here's a question for you. Would you have more kids?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I want two daughters specifically. I don't know if I want another son, man. That's just, extremely selfish to say, but I don't want to disrespect my partner because she wants a son. So I'm not going to say that I don't want a son, but I'm going to say like my preference is girls. I'm gonna
Trying to
leave
be
it
a
at
girl
that.
dad.
I want girls
Why? Why girls specifically?
because I'm tired of the hard shit, bro. I'm ready for my, what they say on Instagram. I'm ready for my soft era, man. Out of the rah rah and the discipline and the hold your head up when you speak to me, man. I want to buy My Little Pony and go to the movies and shit, bro. I'm tired of this shit. Like, bro, like, I'm
You want
ready
to
for my soft era, yo.
parties and this, that, and the third? I listen. I could dig it.
I'm ready for the yo, bro. I'm ready for the rotary phone, the play rotary phone on the
Uh-huh.
phone with my daughter in the play kitchen, like, you know what I mean, bro. Like making orders. I'm tired, man. I'm tired of the rah rah. So two girls, bro. Two girls.
You say your son's 15 now, right?
Nah, he's 13. He'll be 14 in October.
So he's starting to get to that age where you gotta discipline him a little differently than you
He's less
were.
than 2 years from the age and when I had him, man.
Yo, and you starting to, are you, how much of him, how much of you are you starting to see in him?
Hey, he's me, man.
Oh,
Like, man, he's me, man. He's me, man. And he's also, it's exclusively and blessed himself, right? Like he's truly blessed to be himself too, right? I'm not just saying that he's me and he has no identity of his own, but like he's me, bro. He's me.
from his looks down to his mental state, I can see, because like I said, you've always instilled in him, practice, discipline, work ethic, faith, hard work, consistency. Those things that a young boy needs growing up so that he can become a productive man in
Man,
society.
exactly. And that's the only goal is to
So, okay, and my question is, do you like how much are you trying not to navigate him in a different direction? Like, no, don't go that way. You should go this way or this, that, or you just letting him, you putting the options in front of you and go, you decide.
Yeah, I only put the options in front of him after I've vetted everything. Who are
I,
the people that are in the surrounding that you desire to be in?
I,
What is the requirements for this new aspiration? And how can I support that so long as it's safe? How am I providing a space for you to grow both mentally, emotionally, whilst, juggling, growing into being a young man and knowing that there is also an aspect to it where one day I want you to be husband and brother and protector too, right? So I have a healthy balance of all of that. I spent many, many years being overprotective. At
I,
times I still can be, but I think right now I'm willing to just finally give into the wave of fatherhood, let loose and allow him to be a teenager because again, bro, it's May, right? So
but
in about in about 4.5 months from now, he'll be 14. So in about 4.5 months, he has the next 4 years where this 4 year window, he's gonna transition into a legal adult. So these next 4 years, I'm willing to allow him to learn.
you said earlier you transitioned from sports to filmmaking
Yeah.
and producing and everything.
Yep.
Some of which I've seen. I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm
Hey,
thoroughly impressed.
bro. Means a lot.
Um, Talk to me about some of the projects that you are undertaking right now.
Oh, dope, man. Appreciate that, bro. So my last several projects, I shot a short film, Balance, that was centered around mental health and abortion. I followed up with Shooting Higher, a proof of concept action short film, because I've always had aspirations of, just being an action star, and that was really dope. I dealt with like, this abduction of my child in the film and having to come out of retirement as a former U.S. Marine and a special ops sniper and having to do that. So it was dope shooting that. And then most recently, I shot another short film titled Cake, and it is about a grieving, a newly grieving widower who is trying to bake the perfect cake in honor of his wife, who was
Like,
a renowned baker in the city, and his son helps him to bring that to life. So those are the short films that I've done recently. I've also written 2 new TV shows over the last year. One is titled Hype. It's about these 2 brothers with different fathers who are trying to both make it in New York City's rap scene. One is a conscious
um,
rapper, and the other is a drill rapper, like a party rapper. and their worlds collide when they're both trying to reach this aspiration, but just childhood trauma and generational trauma and envy gets in their ways. And then my new romance I wrote an early 2000s romance titled What Is Love? And that is about these two childhood lovers who reconnect 18 years later after breaking up on prom night on a New York City subway train, and they fall in love again over poetry, potentially, right? Let me not give it away. But I just finished writing that, and now I am turning my home into a film studio. And every Friday over the summer, I'm going to be dropping my new digital series, What Is Love? And it's a 5-minute segment every Friday where I shuffle questions on screen and I answer questions about love from the Black male perspective.
Yo, yeah. Oh, my
That's
man.
that's
Working.
literally I wrote it all down, bro. So I have a roadmap I made on Canva where I pinpoint project after project, point after point, and I just try to check that off. And I'm a bulk worker, right? Like I'm not somebody that puts all in every time. I'm somebody that'll take 2 years, make 3 films, premiere them all three the same night, and charge 50 a head. Use that $5,000 to $6,000, you know what I mean, come up, and now I'm producing another film. Now I'm investing into other things. Like I've noticed, excuse me, that's the wrong word. And I've realized to just be patient, right? Like sometimes you got to put rice in the slow cooker and for it to have that fluff and for it to taste better. So that's kind of like my mindset with filmmaking, bro. I'm in no rush with that.
Yo, my man is working. Like you got
Yeah, bro.
some good
It's been
ideas.
a grind, bro. It's been a grind.
Listen, wherever you can fit me in, I will gladly, because that stuff sounds real dope. And I've always been like good with writing. I've always been a good writer. I've gotten awards
Yeah,
for my
bro.
writing.
And remember, you was on debate and law, so
Right.
so it's like you have to be a prolific writer to do that at a high level, bro.
Listen, man,
Prolific.
I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Appreciate it. More than you know.
Lastly, um, are you still how active are you when it comes to athletics? Like you still doing workouts and you still charging? Like what are you
Yeah,
doing?
so yeah. Right now, man, I've been super busy just working out privately with one of my NFL guys, running back Ramon Jefferson. He plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just
Okay.
working out with him and getting ready to manage him with my new management venture. Another one of my kids, he just transferred over to Western Michigan University from the University of Louisville. Mario
Oh,
Asian, another running back that I train and manage. Now my son, right, getting ready to prayerfully go to one of these private schools between Jersey and New York. And as far as myself, I'm still running and lifting, 2 to 3 times a week because I have to allocate more time towards fatherhood and writing and other aspirations. So I'm active, but I'm active very privately right now, bro. I'm not in like the public space athletically.
I'm about to say I might need you to be my personal trainer, bro. I need to,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
might.
man. What's dope is actually, bro, I have funny you mentioned that. I have this really dope community charity workout next month, right? Mid to late June. I'm doing I wouldn't even call it a fundraiser, right? Let's just say a charitable event with my LLC, Bethel Films NY LLC, my production company, and I am going to be having a open workout um, for ages 21 and up, primarily women who are, over the age of 21. And the cause for the group workout is um, uh, infant mortality rate due to childbirth complications, because Black women and Latino women are 3 to 4 more times likely to die while giving birth. So this charitable cause is me raising money to hopefully donate over $400 to a cause, predicated around that. So I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be my next public event, and I'm gonna do that in the form of a workout where you come in 25 ahead. You're encouraged to bring your child, especially if you're a mother who dealt with these complications, and a portion of those proceeds is gonna go towards that cause.
You know, that's some dope shit that you got going on, my man. Listen, I'm proud of you.
How do
If
you do, bro? Seriously.
I'm proud of you to see your success and what you got going on. You got a lot going on, but I'm definitely proud of you, and you still find time to be a dad. Like none of this sounds easy at all.
Appreciate it, bro. Seriously, man.
I'm
Yeah, man,
thankful.
I thoroughly enjoyed this, bro, and I'll be glad to do it whenever, wherever again, brother. I really appreciate you and your time.
Regular guest. Might have to make you a regular guest, bro, because I'm. It's good to reconnect with some of my old friends and see what they're doing with their lives, And I think it's a good connector because I'm pretty sure that everybody that we went to school with is probably gonna watch this, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad to see these two still stay connected,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
that.
absolutely, man. Listen, brother, that offer's on the table, man. If you want to co-host or if you want to come up here to the studio, I got up in CT, bro. What I do is I film in bulk because my show is shot overnight. I got a
Mhm.
guest room upstairs. Brother, you're more than welcome to come on and maybe this is something we could attack together, a few episodes. What I do is I take one night, I do like a 4 to 5 hour shoot. I get all my content, and then because the difference with my show is, um, it's 5 minutes or less, where it's just these quick hits, where like the 5 minute episode is posted on YouTube, but
Mhm.
the best 30-second quote from the episode is posted on IG Reels.
Right.
So you're more than welcome, bro, to come up and co-host anytime that you'd like to do that, bro. All jokes aside, absolutely, bro. We'll love that.
Listen, we'll work it out. I have my people call your people, and we
Ah,
can work.
yeah, man. Facts,
Listen,
man.
man.
Facts, bro.
I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and chat with me for this time,
Always,
and
bro. Always, bro.
thank you for sharing your story of fatherhood with us. Is there anything that you would like to say regarding fatherhood, give fatherly advice, or any type of advice at all to any person that's listening? What do you come on? Give
Yeah,
me something.
yeah. I'm
You
gonna
can
just
have
go.
time speeches, man.
Yeah, yeah, nah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm not gonna have another soliloquy here, bro. But I'm gonna just go with what I always, tell everyone, right? Like it's 86,400 seconds that we have to live every day, right? And it takes less than a second to change your life, but it also takes less than a second to lose your life, right?
Mhm.
So you have to take every second and treat it like it's your last and give it your all with full effort in everything that you do, especially fatherhood. And I'll leave it at that, bro.
Great, I love it, Ricardo. It's always nice to see you, my man.
All
I
right, my
love
bro.
you. I want
Be
to. I'll
more,
talk.
bro. You know that.
Have my number now, so if you want to shoot a text, you want to call, have a quick conversation about anything you need me, call me, brother. I'm
Yeah,
down here for you.
let's jump on. Let's jump on the phone call tomorrow, bro. I really want to get you up here in studio to jump on a couple of episodes of What Is Love, bro. Please.
My man, got you.
All right, brother.
All right, my brother. All right, I'll let you later, man.
All right, Brody.
Perfect.